So there's two things at Flite Fest you can always count on. You're always going to make friends, and at least one day it's always going to rain, at least for temporarily. This is on the Thursday, and as we were setting up, man, it rained really hard. But then the skies cleared up, things dried up, and had a wonderful the rest of the weekend. I was lucky in 2018 because when I arrived, I picked a campground spot, but it ended up being near some noisy neighbors, and I ran into my friend Foamy Ninja. He said, "Hey, we got a campground site, come join us." And as you can see, they had a very festive beach atmosphere, and that kind of began the whole thing. So next year we decided to change it up, and we did the bomb squad. So I brought some camo netting, and we all dressed up in camouflage, and Foamy Ninja built some amazing bombs, including one that had a little smoke bomb in it that looked like it was still smoldering. That banner says it all. It's wonderful to see families come together, father, son, mother, daughter, and just build together. Just look at those build tents, full of imagination, things people try to create to check to see if it will fly. This early morning, the father and son were struggling to get their airplane to fly, so I went over to help them. Turns out just the prop was on backwards. I was also able to get this wonderful sunrise picture of the sun.
Have our awesome volunteers, which let's give it up for the volunteers. Everybody in a maroon shirt or a red shirt and an orange shirt. Not only are they the ones that make this event happen every year, but over the years, since the very first one in 2014, they've become like a big family, like an extended family of the Flite Fest crew.
My friend Mike lives in Kansas City, so he stayed with me overnight on our way up to Flite Fest. Andre Russo in charge of the volunteers. It was great meeting as many of the Flite Fest staff as possible. They're very welcoming. Oh yeah, and the flights don't stop when it gets dark. People bring out their planes decorated with LED lights. The nighttime's not just for airplanes. Jesse Perkins showed up and lit up the tent with his tiny whoop nighttime flying. He had a bunch of pilots show up so they could test their skills on his track. It was fun for all ages. This is a portion of my flight through the golf cart tunnels. Joshua Orchard always comes with some amazing planes that he's either built from scratch or modified. This was a beautiful plane that he covered in aluminum and did some 3D prints. You can find the full video here.
New hubs to have that rim detail.
How do you go about designing?
I use Fusion.
Okay.
And I'm self-taught, YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean,
isn't that great?
my spotters when I was flying my DJI, but evidently Stan really doesn't like quads. The plane Stan had a horn, and every time I went past Show Central, he would honk the horn. It was really funny.
Take it off, right to left. That's 2 midair. That's 2. Oh well. Let me run down there and make sure you stay.
So, here we go. And 5 to the big planes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great situation there. That was a great grab. Oh! I love that sound. The way that the sound the front takes together with other phones. Listen. This thing is essentially located a little bit higher against the turn stuff. But I love when you guys say essentially located on this first like this left. Right? Middle like this back out there. Go. Ready? Go. Go. Straight down. Yes! Like that. See you later. Go ahead, son. Yes! Oh, the loose straight down the ground. Somebody's got to do it. Who's going to be the hero? Who's going to be the hero? I'll be as fast as we're ready.
After everybody's landed, the pilots go out into the field and retrieve their planes. And man, look at all those pilots. There's some spotters with them too, but man, that's a lot of people in combat.